When I first saw the trailer for Here Comes the Boom, my thoughts immediately turned to, are they trying to rip off the movie Warrior or just make a parody of it? Well, now that I've finally seen the movie, I'd like to give my thoughts on it. The plot, for as ridiculous as it was, actually worked. Kevin James plays Scott Voss, a high school biology teacher. Henry Winkler plays the school's music teacher, and his wife, as it turns out, is having a baby. At the same time, the school is cutting its budget, and the first thing to go are extracurricular activities. So, of course, now the music program is threatened and is going to be cut. So Scott Voss offers to help raise money to keep the thing going, keep the music program up and running. He tries several different things. He goes on to teach a night class for the U.S. citizenship test, and as it turns out, one of his students, Nico, is a former MMA fighter. After Nico asks him for help, Scott offers to help him with the test. He discovers that by losing an MMA fight, you can earn a decent amount of money. So this sets off the idea that by losing fights, he can make the money in no time. It's really a wacky idea that in a sports movie, the main character would focus more on losing as opposed to winning, but here in a comedy it works, and I found it an entertaining plot. It was a great story to watch, and just fun to see it progress. Now the acting here, it was great. I'll say that. It was fun watching these guys on screen. Salma Hayek and Kevin James definitely had some chemistry. There were points where they were kind of playful with one another, but the best parts were when she was playing hard to get and he was chasing her. Great stuff to watch. It had its comedy, and it didn't try too much. That's one thing I do have to say about this movie. The comedy was held back enough to where it's not like, well, most Adam Sandler movies where you could tell he's like trying too hard. Here, there's just enough comedy mixed in with it to where it's funny and it doesn't feel forced. Henry Winkler and Kevin James definitely had some chemistry together. It showed on screen, and they had some great moments in this movie. The other actors I want to point out are Bas Rutten and Mark Delagrati. They are former MMA fighters. Bas Rutten played Nico, the student in Scott Voss's class, and Mark Delagrati played himself. Their parts, and especially Bas Rutten's character, the performance felt polished. It didn't feel like a forced cameo, and they were a lot funnier and a lot more charismatic than I expected. Seeing them on screen, like I said, as opposed to most times when a sports figure has a role in a movie, it didn't feel forced or like they didn't want to be there. It seemed like they were having a fun time with the movie, and that really does enhance the experience while you're watching it. Now, the last thing I want to say is, by having actual MMA fighters play the opponents as opposed to actors playing fighters, as well as integrating several elements of the MMA world, specifically the UFC bits of the movie, really took it to the next level. By having everything from Joe Rogan announcing, I believe it's Michael Buffer doing the ring announcing, actual referees, and just the whole setup. It just took it to the next level, and it felt like an MMA pay-per-view. It felt like I was sitting down watching UFC. Overall, it's a fun family movie. It does have its morals to it. I wouldn't recommend it for younger kids. I'd say probably 9 and up, just because of the fighting that's in it, but it's nothing really too heavy. It's not like you're going to see them beating the crap out of each other and someone's eye pop out of the socket. Nothing like that. So, if you're looking for a fun movie to watch, I highly suggest Here Comes the Boom.